I'm Mark from whiteboxuk.co.uk. This video is a guide on how to best install Sortimo racking using my tips and tricks. Now we've got the floor relatively in place. You can see we've got a bit of a line here, and these bits here that we've got to line up, you can see they're just out of line at the moment. So what I need to do is try and move that floor over, and then what we do is we push the floor so it's pushed right together. So now we've got one complete floor fitted into the van. Next thing to do is grab the new racking, put it on the floor and mark the holes. Now I'm taking a measurement on the sidewall to make sure the racking's even, and I've taken a look down the side to see if it visually looks straight as well, because that's the most important thing. We're just going to mark the holes with a pen onto the floor. So there's a hole here, here, we've got a bracket here, and then there's going to be a few more under here. So the next thing to do now will be mark off the holes on the racking on the near side of the van, pull all the racking and the floor out and drill the holes. We've now pulled the racking out of the van and we're left with just the bare floor. So I've gone and found the marks that I made earlier on, and I've used a small drill bit just to drill through the floor to really show where the holes are, just in case when I pull the floor out it gets rubbed off. Now we've got the floor out of the van, turn it on its back, and we can see the pilot holes we drilled earlier. Now in the bag of Sortimo fixing gear you'll find these. They're tiger nuts. They've got a thread insert in them. So what we need to do now is get a 10mm drill bit and drill through our pilot holes. So now we've drilled the holes in the floor, we're laying the floor down onto the ground, and we can see the holes I've drilled. I'm going to place one of the tiger nuts into the 10mm hole. A few short whacks and it's in. Easy as that. So we've got the floor reinstalled now with the holes drilled, and you should find with the floor, normally you get a couple of plastic Sortimo branded clips, and that's what joins the seam in the two floors together. So we're going to just jump in here. So you see here a groove in the floor with a couple of holes, and this will just fit into there. Bit of a whack down and she's in. Some of the floors will come with a cutout along the floor for where the tie downs go. So what you'll find in the pack is a metal cup that will fit into the hole, and then you put the tie downs into the hole again, and that secures the floor in. This Transit Custom comes with a set of brackets because there's no floor tie downs to secure the floor. So what we need to do is get one of the brackets, and you'll see there's already a tiger nut installed into the floor, and we're going to fit the bracket into there and onto the sidewall. So now we've got all the floor brackets in. We've got the bolts in through the floor, through the tiger nuts that are installed. That was already installed by the factory, not the ones we've done. And we've got the tie down straps. The floor is now nice and solid. Now we come to the installation of the brackets. And the brackets sit on the back of the racking and hold the top part of the racking and assist the bolts in the floor. In the pack you should find a selection of long and short brackets, so it's now the time to find the right bracket to fit where you want to do the installation. So in this particular one, I'm going to need a long bracket to go on the back of here and to try and bolt against the back of the van. Here I have a bracket bender to be able to bend the brackets into shape, because obviously the way they are, they're straight, that's not going to fit. If you haven't got one of these, just use a vise or something like that to get the angles right. So the first thing I'm going to do, stick this in here, put a bit of a bend in there, and then just offer it up to this rail on the back of the racking. I'm going to go about here. Here's the rail in the back of the racking. I'm going to drop this in, attach the bracket, fit the two nuts, and we'll tighten that a bit later once it's in. There's the bracket ready to go when we push the racking back in. Yeah. In the installation bag you'll find these are called riv nuts or nut certs. You'll need to buy a tool to be able to use these. This is a riv nut or a nut cert tool. These little handheld ones are quite hard to use, so you can get some more industrial ones, but obviously they're a bit more expensive for one use. If you can't get one of these and you're drilling the hole to fit the bracket, you're going to have to find a way of putting a nut and bolt through it. Now we've installed this one, we're going to drill the other two holes that we marked earlier, install the nut certs, push the racking back in and bolt it down. Now the racket's secured, all the bolts are done up, it's safe and secure. In the event of an accident, that's not going anywhere. All the tools will be safe. Next thing we're going to do is put the bins that come with it, which we took out just to make it a bit lighter, to install the racking. If you need any more help or advice or information, please don't hesitate to contact us and we'll be happy to help.